The time is now to talk about Universal FanFest nights coming to Universal Studios Hollywood. We got one of my favorite hosts, Just Ask Danny.
So I was just bringing up the chat so I could see what people were saying.
A lot of news has come through today. I was kind of like I was awake really early to pump out all this information, and then I kind of disappeared, and then I've come back into it, and I'm just trying to gather, like, did Disney talk about anything today? Because, you know, Disney doesn't like losing the spotlight for nothing, and for whatever reason, anytime Universal does something, Disney does something. Did Disneyland respond with anything today, Danny, or did they attempt to at least?
The only thing I saw was Magic Key accounts, social accounts. They, oh, sorry, I think my camera got all wonky here. Magic Key social accounts, they were posting about Star Wars Night, because I think Star Wars Night tickets go on sale, like, is it tomorrow?
I think it's
Friday?
today.
Or today? It was today.
Yeah. You're right, Danny. 11 hours ago. Let me bring it up. Here we go. Magic Key.
Yeah, it was giving like the vibes of like the FanFest Nights commercial.
Yeah, well, we'll get into Star Wars Night a little because it is an After Dark event. But thank you, everybody. I know it's late. Thank y'all for joining. Today's live, we really just want to focus on FanFest. Maybe talk a little Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift too, because it kind of got crazy. But for the first thing, I want to start off with today. I know you dropped some content. Let people know, Danny. What did you just post on the YouTubes?
Yeah, I just posted a vlog that Mondo and I did on the opening day of the Wonderful World of Sweets. We also went to the opening day of the Storyland Boutique, because they all happened right after each other. And then we went around to some of the hotels to kind of give you guys a visual on what the changes that were proposed, and where they would go, what they look like, that kind of stuff. Because a lot of people read it and kind of didn't really know where that was. So if you are interested in seeing a visual of that, we shared it.
Heck yeah. So check that out. That video's already live. What's up, Universal High? We got Dodger in the house. Max Cruz. What's up, Max? Missed opportunity for Simpsons Ryan not having Back to the Future ride overlay. I don't know how easy something like that would be. I don't even know if Simpsons would allow that. You know what I mean? To have a different overlay on that ride vehicle, that building. I don't know. Obviously, the answer is no. I want to start off, we got Universal High in here. He was actually at Universal today. Did you have a chance to see what the Fast and Furious construction was looking like, Danny?
Well, I saw that you teased this morning that the track might go over the escalator. Did that happen?
It happened, dude. It happened. Let me bring up a video. This is actually from Universal High on X, so credit to him. Look at that, Danny.
That's gonna be crazy.
That's just so crazy, dude. Track over the escalators. I could only assume they're just gonna finish all that in like this week. The fact that they've done so much in January, it's just it's mind blowing. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think Universal's taking advantage of the fact that they're blessed this year with a season of not so much rain, because last year we had like record amounts of rain, which you wouldn't know, right? Because everyone's talking about how dry it is for the fires, but like we had like the worst rain we've ever had last year. Like it never stopped raining.
I remember
So
that for like a
so
month, 2 months.
yeah, so they have been blessed with a pretty dry winter thus far, so it's giving them a lot of time to get ahead on construction, I would imagine. They're probably ahead of the game, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people. What's his name? I forgot who tagged me. They tagged me a little bit ago. Universal Coasters. He said, where is it? He said something like all the track could be done by March. Just over 3 weeks of track. Oh, just over 3 weeks of track installation. At this rate, the layout would be done by mid-late March for Fast and Furious. So we could have a completed track by March, April-ish, and then probably testing, I don't know, maybe like 3 months later, 2 months later. Pretty fast, honestly. Yeah, Fast and Furious is crazy. Um, Let me see. Is Elphaba and Glinda now a regular park admission thing? Or maybe a wicked summer event? You know, that's the big one, Danny. How the calendar for Universal Studios Hollywood says summer event. Do you think they go Wicked? You know, we do have Wicked 2 at some point. Are they trying to dedicate a whole summer to Wicked? What do you think?
Well, yeah, I think I was talking to Peter about this, and I was saying, man, it kind of seems like it's a little too late, right? Orlando had that really cool exhibit with props and costumes from the movie. They had the meet and greet with Glinda and Elphaba, and it just seemed like why weren't we doing this? You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
then he mentioned, well, they are going to need a reason to bring people into the parks, and Orlando isn't going to really need to be doing that with Epic Universe. They're gonna have enough people coming over there. And so teasing something like having a meet and greet with Elphaba and Glinda might bring a lot of people to the parks that that wouldn't have otherwise come. Because they want to see that, they want to be a part of that, and maybe it's like maybe it's Glinda like in her dress from the new movie, and like Elphaba looks a
They
little bit
go new
different, stuff
movie
like
route.
that.
That would be
Yeah.
cool. That would be cool. That I didn't think of the route of that, Danny, where they're like, "Hey, this is number two stuff." I could totally see the summer event maybe be Wicked. I have not heard anything like that. This is the first time like hearing that. Uh, I could see it like the whole plaza just becomes Wicked. If Wicked does come, I would hope, you know, maybe it's asking too much, but it says summer event. I would hope that Galinda and Elphaba are actually like they sing, they perform. Like we hear the iconic song. What is the first song called, Danny? The first banger that hits in Wicked One.
Like the main song at the
Yeah,
end.
the very first song in Wicked.
Oh, no one mourns the wicked.
No one mourns the wicked. That's what it's called. I had no idea. And then the last one is Gravity. Gravity Falls.
Defying gravity. Yeah.
Define Gravity. Yeah, you got to sing both those. I don't know if they could get performers like that. That's very unique talent. Super chat from Brian. Passes for opening weekend are on sale again at for fan night. Fan night, fan fest, all these words. Uh, Dude, so what's been happening today, a lot of people were considering like, should I get a ticket? Should I get the 2-day ticket? There's a lot of stuff for FanFest to talk about. We'll start off with pricing. Um, so the way that everything is working, it's just like a Halloween Horror Nights. That's how everything is set up. You have your general admission, Express Unlimited, 2 p.m. after day and night, 2 p.m. day and night Universal Express, VIP tour, early access. This is just like Horror Nights, and up to the point where they even have like a frequent fear. They have a 2-day pass and then Ultimate Fandom Pass. The Ultimate Fandom Pass, for whatever reason, it was like selling out the first 3 days. I couldn't book it. I couldn't book the first 3 days, the 25th, 26th, 27th. For whatever reason, they're now available again. So anybody, it's in your budget, 250, you want to come multiple times, that is the one to do right there. And you want to have it obviously starting whatever day you can, but if you could have it start on the first day, April 25th, you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Where do you feel like, where do you stand, Danny, with all these pricings? Like, are you in the one ticket, two ticket? Like, how do you feel?
I feel like the event itself is clearly been set up by Universal to not be something that you can do in one day, right? You're gonna have to really prioritize what's important to you as a fandom, and you're gonna prioritize that. I would say probably a large portion of people are gonna be doing Back to the Future stuff, and I think Universal kind of knows that. That's why it's taking up the tram, right? The tram can absorb a ton of people, just like the Terror Tram, and so to give that to Back to the Future, makes sense not only for the fact that we've got the set there in the
Yeah,
lower lot, but I think it makes sense because it can absorb huge lines. They can have like a 2 hour queue there, 2 hour plus queue there, and really just get people to go there. But remember, when you're going down to um, that area that where the set is, the clock tower and everything like that, there's going to be a whole experience set up. You're going to be not only like a 45-minute show that they mentioned in the auditions paperwork, but you're gonna have an Enchantment Under the Sea dance going with some live entertainers going over there. You're probably gonna have opportunities to meet and greet with the characters after they do their like little experience. Lightning's gonna strike the clock tower. The car is gonna create the flames on the ground. So there's a lot of things that you're gonna want to wait around to see with Back to the Future. So potentially when you get off the tram there, you're going to be spending a lot of time. What I'm not understanding though, Mondo, is how they're going to monitor, like just how many people go down there. You know what I mean? Um, like because truly, like when it was Metro sets and you're going down there for like 4 nights, it's pretty much unlimited. You could just walk down there and stay down there as long as you wanted. But with to me, this just is a little, I don't know. I get worried because so many people are going to come down, and I don't know, can you like stay there the whole time, or are you going to have to like leave after you've experienced everything that's going? Like I
when
don't necessarily know.
when I talked to the people that were there, which are like the Universal official people, they were saying you could just stay at Back to the Future if that's what you want. You don't have to leave. You could just stay there. That's how you want to experience FanFest. Uh, that that that's totally allowed. It's not something. It's not something like remember boarding groups at Galaxy's Edge. All right, who
Mm-hmm.
has the yellow wristbands? You guys are all gone. Your 4 hours are gone. It's not going to be like that. And you're
The only
totally
thing that
right.
the only thing that worried me is because if you think about sometimes when the Terror Tram gets impacted, as far as the return ride back to the upper mid lot, um, and I'm just picturing like if they're not letting you, if they're making sure that you don't have to leave and you can just stay there, there's a potential for the crowd to really build in this area, and then when people want to go back, what's that line going to be looking like to go back? You know what I mean?
Well, how many trams are going to be coming? You know that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
it's
you
weird. I'm
go.
kind of bummed that they're not just letting us walk there, because I know we can walk there, and it's like we've done, like they let you walk down there like during Halloween Horror Nights. Like I just feel like logistically it would have been a lot better if they let us walk there. But I know it keeps it more controlled if they don't have people walking through like the toxic tunnel and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, the big things that are coming out of Back to the Future is you're taking the studio tour to the clock tower to be dropped off there.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be meet and greets, a ton of meet and greets. And one thing too is that, from my understanding, the way when they did their presentation yesterday at Universal, they want this area not just the clock tower, but the surrounding area. They want it to look like 1955 Hill Valley. So there's going to be a lot of remodeling happening in that area to make it look like you're Marty McFly. You just landed in 1955 or 19, yeah,
Mhm.
1955. Um,
Yeah, I think that there's like truly a way for Universal to really like I think the thing that with Universal with this that they've hit a home run with is that like people really love to like cosplay, right? And even like necessarily like role play too for a lot of these things. And so like to just be immersed in the world of Back to the Future and then if you have something like that frequent pass where you can come all the time, imagine just being like, okay, tonight I'm dedicating to Back to the Future. I'm coming down here and I'm just never leaving. And I'm just gonna stay in this world and like be in and like enjoy the enchantment under the sea dance and just chill down here. Maybe go back up to get some food that's Back to the Future themed. I don't even know if are they serving it down there or is it. I don't know. The food that they were serving for Back to the Future was giving me Minions Cafe vibes, so I almost felt like they were going to serve it at Minions Cafe.
no way. That's so far away from each other, Danny. I think it's going to be a food booth. That
Because I
that's
saw
the
the like the
vibe.
patty melt, the way
Yeah.
the patty melt looked and the other melt, those were like Minion Cafe vibes. Like that's the kind of food they serve. So I was just like, maybe it's the same kitchen that's creating it.
Mm, yeah, I'm curious too how the food plays out because we're at the lower lot. You know what I mean? Unless they got like a food truck or something down there, I don't know how they're gonna do that. But I can see what you're saying. Like it's that style of minion food. I think we
It
have a
is.
patty mill over there. They have one. Um,
They do.
the the part that's like the super coolest out of all this is that they're gonna recreate the lightning strike moment of Back to the Future, and that there's let me do I have I think I posted yeah right here like that that moment right there they're trying to recreate that for FanFest. That exact moment right there. Um, so when I was at this event for media, they had a concept art of like the layout of the land, and the clock tower and that grass area. It was just kind of like a hanging out, character driven meet and greet style of area, and they had like Doc Brown and Marty at the clock tower, and Doc Brown was like in his white outfit, like um, I don't even know how to describe it, like his white scientist looking outfit, and Marty was he had like his red, I don't even know what that thing's called right now, that vest he wears, but on the left side of the clock tower, they had like fire marks on the ground that look just like that, like the fire marks that we just saw once the car goes to the future, like that. There was fire marks on the ground. There was a wire hanging above that just got struck with lightning and all that good stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, on the concept art, there was a lightning hitting the clock tower. So there's going to be an explosion at the top of the clock tower somehow. Um, and on the left side, Danny, is where they had the enchantment under the sea. They have like a stage set up. They had Marty all dressed up, like him playing the guitar, which I guess he will be playing the guitar. So it's going to be like live entertainment music going with. I don't even know how do they jumble all this stuff going on in just this one section? You know, we're not even talking about none of the other stuff yet. We're just talking about Back to the Future. And like Danny was saying, like Back to the Future, it really seems like you're going to be down there 2 hours. Like, I really find it hard to believe that you're just like, oh, that was a 30-minute thing. I don't think so. I don't think the Back to the Future thing's going to play out like
Yeah, not to mention like the time queuing in line. So I just want everyone to go in with the right expectations, right? Like there's probably not a big chance that you can go in and experience all this, right? Like the Dungeons and Dragons walkthrough, the Star Trek walkthrough experience, the Back to the Future stuff. Like you're probably gonna have to pick one or the other, because like all these things are gonna have queues in and of themselves, and then they themselves take a while, right? And then there's
Yeah.
waiting in line for food, all the themed food that's gonna be everywhere. There's waiting in line to take photos with characters that are gonna be special there. So it's like you're gonna have to go in probably picking like two or three things you're gonna want to do, and that's probably all you'll get, unless you're doing like a VIP experience that they're selling, or even like an express. But I don't even
Yeah.
know. We don't even really know details of the express, right? Like, are they going to
No,
give you
nothing.
are they going to give you front of line access to like these walkthrough experiences, or is it just for the attractions that are open? You know, we don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. Um, for all the stuff that we know about Back to the Future now, Danny, how do you feel? Like how do you feel? Like what's the vibe you're getting from this Back to the Future experience of FanFest?
I mean, I think it's perfect, right? It's the 40th anniversary of the movie. People haven't been in that part of the sets on the tram tour in a really long time. And I think just in general, the idea of people getting off the tram and standing and being in this part of the studio tour, for most people is a bucket list item, right? Just to be there and be standing in it, standing by the clock tower. They're essentially like standing in the set of their favorite movie, and there's truly no other experience I feel that's going to be as important to people as this. There's so many cool things in FanFest nights that will be awesome, especially from what they're sharing about the Star Trek experience. Even though I give two craps about Star Trek, I don't even know, like I don't have any ties to Star Trek, but I would, the way that they're describing the experience, it sounds really really cool. Um, like I think the Back to the Future one is really like what this event is gonna shine like with, and the people are gonna, that's where they're gonna get the most like praise, and people that just love that movie, especially like in its 40th year, like being able to say, oh, I stood there on the set on the lower lot and like got to take a photo,
With
like, you
Marty.
know, dressed up like Marty, or dressed up, holding a sign that says 121 gigawatts or whatever.
Let me
Like,
ask you this, Danny. So now that we got all these details and whatever, how do you think the plan of attack of like hitting cosplay, hitting anime, the gaming aspect with Dungeons and Dragons, like how do you think it's all kind of playing out? Like, do you think this is working? Because they're like tentacles are going in so many different places that have nothing to do with each other, you know? Because
yeah,
because
I think,
Disney's like Star Wars night. Ugh, that's all you get. You know what I mean? This is like we're getting 6, 7 different Star Wars nights.
honestly, I think this event's going to be a test for Universal, right? This is clearly them wanting to create the revenue experience of something like Halloween Horror Nights at all times of the year, right?
Yeah, it's
And so
crazy.
this this is allowing them to kind of try that out, and I think with an event like this, they really kind of just tried to think, okay, how can we recreate it? Like HHN just isn't one franchise; it's like a ton of different things coming together, and they could truly benefit from, a more hyper focused event that's like maybe just on Back to the Future, and maybe that's what they'll come up with at
Hmm.
the end of this event, right? Like maybe they'll see, okay, the popularity really was all with Harry Potter and all with Back to the Future. Like Universal's had After Dark events around Harry Potter before, and they've been very successful.
Yeah.
So they already know that that's going to be a success for them. But like something like Back to the Future, they obviously know there's a fandom there. And obviously they know there's a huge fandom with Star Trek, right? Star Trek's like one of the longest running things ever. So, and obviously, Dungeons and
And
Dragons
Dungeons and
now
Dragons
too.
too, technically, yeah, a long
Well,
time.
Dungeons and Dragons, like it's resurged, right? There's like so many young kids now playing Dungeons and Dragons again, that are getting into it, and more than ever before. So huge bangers there, not without even including the anime stuff like One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen and all that stuff. But like the um I think in general, they might take the information that they get from this event, right, and see how successful certain things were, and then maybe we get a little bit more of a hyper focused event next year.
Kind of like less IP, but more of that.
Yeah, more of that, like a
um,
Universal Back to the Future night or something like that.
So I want to get into this one, Danny. Dungeons and Dragons. Uh, one of the big spiels from this fan fest that they had early on was that it's by the creators of Horror Nights. The you know what I mean? Like their creatives are going to be part of this event, which everybody was like, does this mean a walkthrough? And the walkthrough, at least everything I saw, there's going to be a big walkthrough, like a Halloween Horror Night style big walkthrough in the soundstage behind Transformers, and it's going to be Dungeons and Dragons: Secrets of Waterdeep. The way that this is going to play out, I'll go ahead and read this real quick. Welcomes guests and fans to partake in a one-of-a-kind adventure and explore the fantastic world of D&D. Guests will join the Harpers, a heroic spy network, to foil a plot by the legendary beholder Xanathar and save the city of Waterdeep. In creating this unique experience, Universal Studios Hollywood is collaborating with Jim Henson Creature Shop to create the legendary beholder Xanathar that will come to life with Dungeons and Dragons: Secrets of Waterdeep. Uh, it's this monster right here, Danny. And they showed us a behind the scenes look at this monster. This thing is like, I don't know, 12, 15 feet high. Like, this thing is huge. It's huge. Remember like the big Chucky we had at Chucky House? It's like one of those kind of things. Uh, and if I could like really remember, there's gonna be like 6 or 7 like big rooms that you're gonna be traveling into as a group. This is not like a horror night conga line. This is like a story that's just kind of partaking at every step of the way. And things are gonna go bad. You're gonna confront this monster. I don't know how they're gonna kill this monster or what kind of conquering is gonna go on. And like this victorious, you're gonna be victorious at the end of this battle. And a Horror Night Dungeons and Dragons house. That's what we're getting. We got Universal High. I might be the most excited for Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not even a D&D fan. Just want to see the giant puppet. Uh,
Yeah, I don't really know a lot about Dungeons and Dragons. I know that like I play card trading card games, and I play at a hobby shop. Mondo's played Magic the Gathering. He plays at a hobby shop as well too. And a lot of the hobby shops host like Dungeons and Dragons nights and days where they have teams that come in and play, and I've seen them and heard them play while we're playing. And I feel like a lot of their campaigns and stuff are created by the dungeon master who's like made it up themselves, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like made up the monster that they're doing. So I'm like, how is there like a specific monster that people know about that like is I thought it was all just made up, that they were like buying different campaign books and then they're following the campaign, or they're creating their own campaign, or maybe using a popular campaign from online that other like dungeon masters have created, or game masters or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't really know a lot about it. So I think I'm like, I take the same stance as Universal High. Is like, I don't really know a lot about Dungeons and Dragons, but I love the fantasy world in that aspect. And I would love to see any sort of puppetry or, you know, sort of experience that the Halloween Horror Nights team is putting on, because we love Halloween Horror Nights. So
Hmm. I have a feeling they're gonna do a good job with this. The Horror Nights is what they do. Physical sets, animatronic puppet, all that's gonna probably be used. To me, I got a vibe, Danny, that like a big budget is going into this thing and the Star Trek one, like very big budgets because they have to make everything from scratch. Um, all right, what do we got, Jennifer? I have a question about tickets. Is it worth buying two and the VIP tickets? Wow, you're going so hard. What do you think, Daddy? Is that too much? You're almost at the point of like you should just buy the fandom pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say just buy the fandom pass. I don't really think um I think if you're gonna go for more than one night, just buy the fandom pass and then maybe be able to go 3 nights.
Yeah,
But then there's always that thing too, Mondo, of like parking, right? Like the fandom pass doesn't come with parking, and if you don't have a existing Universal pass, you're gonna be paying $35 each time.
that's a lot
That'll
of.
add up as well too.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, Jennifer, you know what I would do? I would just go VIP the first night, and if you really love it, uh, make a decision after that. Just go bougie
Cause
on
you
the
get
first one.
don't you get free parking, Mondo, with the VIP? You get
You
like
get
valet.
valet. You get valet parking. Yeah, so that's what I say. Just go VIP right off the bat, and then play it by ear after that. Do you think a wait and see approach to see opening weekend videos would work since these event dates look very limited? Thank you, gents. That's what I was gonna
I think that's
say.
a good question, Mondo, because you brought this up before we started the show. You have a perfect answer for this question.
Our good buddy Brian Sevilla, shout out to Brian. He was on the phone with Universal themselves. It's sounding like the way that things are going to play out is just like Horror Nights. So they'll put out all these tickets. For example, it's $80 on Friday. Closer we get to the event and that date, prices will probably go up. So your $80 ticket is all of a sudden 95. You know what I mean? And all the other corresponding tickets go up. It sounds like it's going to be just like Horror Nights. So if this is like super hype and all that good stuff, the prices are probably going to go up. It's not like Disney where Disneyland, they kind of just set a price and it's that 165 or whatever it is, and it doesn't budge up or down. It's just that price. It seems like
Yeah.
Universal is going to come in with that variable pricing. So that's what we heard.
Uh, Brian Sevilla says, Mondo, do we even know what VIP will have? Or do we even know?
I'm on the web page. We could look. I'm curious myself.
Can we
I
break it
don't
down? Yeah, because
know.
we kind of know what it's included. Um,
I'm loading. I don't know if it's my internet or the website's been struggling. Uh, Gosh, what's going on? Maybe I was.
but explain this to me, Mondo. This little hack that that Brian Sevilla is mentioning here about getting AMC A list. I know you can make a movie reservation at the AMC theater there using your A list, but I thought that Universal only gave you 5 hours validation with the parking on the on the movie theater. So like you're gonna be there more than 5 hours.
No, it's $5. You pay $5. So
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, you're gonna go watch a movie. You just pay $5. Kind of like a weird workaround. I feel like they've been trying to like clamp down on that kind of stuff because like they were doing this one point where like we're gonna charge you $35 and you got to get your refund at AMC for your $30. It was so stupid. I don't know, but yes, you could watch an AMC movie at Universal Studios Hollywood, and it charges you only $5 to do that. Uh, I've done it myself many times with Horror Nights. um,
Did you pull
uh,
up the VIP?
yeah, I got it right here. Danny. Let me put you on the side. So this is VIP FanFest. I haven't read this either. I was waiting to do the live. You get your ticket, blah, blah, blah. We don't really care about that. Daytime. Ticket does not include early access. VIP trolley transportation, gourmet dinner, special theme photo opportunity, complimentary valet, special VIP entrance. So, I don't know. I'm not really being sold right here. uh, at this point in time, there's nothing like extra cool. You're just getting you're getting a host to walk you throughout the whole event, and you get to do your own VIP line, so you don't wait nothing ever, and it's unlimited. Um, and you get food. You're gonna get a gourmet dinner. That'll probably be really cool. But yeah, no, there's nothing. There's nothing like you're gonna get this extra experience during some of these things. It doesn't say nothing like that. Man, you know how like we get the Nope section, or you get that Blumhouse photo op thing? It doesn't say nothing
Yeah.
like that. FL Vlogs, 23 months. Good evening, Mondo Danny. Hope all is well. All I ask is for good food at the event. How do you think the food's playing out, Danny? Let me go back real quick and show. This is the Dungeons and Dragons food. Uh, you know,
Let me tell you what. For that question there, I think as long as you're sticking with the Harry Potter food and
yeah,
the Back to the Future food, you can't go wrong. I mean, the Harry Potter food looked incredible. We've
let's go to
had
that one
Cornish
next.
pasties. We had Cornish pasties come when we had the last Universal Harry Potter event. They've got a curry dish. They've got meat pies. I'm down for whatever any of that is. So, um, they, I would be definitely getting Hogwarts food, and I would definitely be getting a patty melt or the Doc Brown melt, I think it's called, from
Yeah.
Universal. I'd be getting any of those. Those look really good. I'd probably stay away from like a lot of the foods that had the coloring in it, just because I'm not trying to have a red mouth.
Well, dude, this is the one where I'm like, man, I don't know, dude. You know what I mean?
All that red dye, like just your whole mouth would be dyed red.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fireball on the way out. Let's jump over to the Harry Potter, Danny, since you're bringing up Harry Potter. So Harry Potter is going to have a new nighttime show for us here at Hollywood. It's going to be called, where is it? Visually spectacular. Hogwarts Always. It's going to be Hogwarts Always. That's what it's called. Um, so we're going to have that. And then we're going to have the Fantastic Beast creatures coming for meet and greets, which that's exciting. We've seen them in Japan. It seemed like people they really loved the creatures over there as like meet and greets. How do you feel about that? Is Fantastic Beast going to translate to like this is awesome? Because I have to admit, Danny, I haven't watched the movies. I don't know. I don't have this like desire to watch Fantastic Beasts, but I know you have. I know you have.
Yeah, I love Fantastic Beasts, and it's unfortunate that they're not going to make any more. But they, they got caught up in the whole Johnny Depp trial thing, which he ended up not. That's a whole other topic,
Yeah.
um, they're great movie franchises. They're such awesome movies. There's one of the new meet and greets that will have never been at any Universal Studio Park before. This is with an Akami. So one of the residents or professors or whatever from Hogwarts will have an Akami, which
Yeah.
this creature is in Fantastic Beasts. The creature grows to whatever size of space that it's inhabiting. So it can be as big as a cup or like as large as a whole room, and in this case they went with a pretty big size for probably a puppet, but that's a really cool meet and greet character that we've never had. But it seems like we're going to have the Niffler. We're going to have some other character meet and greets that we haven't had creature wise before. I think they also showed a pygmy puff,
Yeah.
um, which is the cotton candy creature. They've had that at Japan as well too. Plus all the special food. They might even did they say they're gonna have like Newt Scamander or any of the characters from the movie?
No, it's just creatures. That's the vibe I got, Danny. Just
Just
creatures.
creatures.
Yeah, I wish,
Okay.
dude. We need the people from the movies. I always want that. We need a Harry Potter walking around, man.
Well, it's a little bit easier to like bring in like a Newt Scamander and like a all the characters from the Fantastic Beasts franchise than it is the Harry Potter franchise, because I feel like it's easier to cast those roles than it is like young children. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's like that they would have to cast an adult, and the adult would have to look like a child, or a younger kid in school still, and like the characters of Fantastic Beasts are all adults, so it's a little bit easier, I feel, for them to cast.
I will say, I had a chance to try the Harry Potter foods. The chicken curry, delicious. Like
Yeah,
I,
Peter said the same thing in his video as well.
it was awesome. And I'm not a curry fan, like at all. But it
What
was
about the
really
meat
good.
pie?
I didn't get a chance to try the meat pie. Um, I think they only allowed us to try the chicken curry for Harry Potter. I don't remember the meat pies being available. That media day, there was so much going on, and I was like, I can't miss out on the photo. I was just focused on like the work side of it. Like I gotta get all these photos. Um, the Harry Potter. Do you think it's gonna have a big draw? A lot of people going over there to meet these creatures, kind of staying over there. They don't even want to do anything else. I feel like the Harry Potter
Yeah,
fans are more willing to branch out to the other things. Like the Back to the Future fans, they just want that. Like I don't even know. I don't even know if they'll go to Harry Potter.
like I said, I feel like this event itself is gonna attract cosplayers just like Comic Con does. And so there's gonna be people that want to buy tickets that just want to cosplay and be in the environment of like, because you can cosplay at Comic Con, but you're not like in the environment of Dungeons and Dragons or in the environment of Back to the Future or any of these things. And like you're gonna have the opportunity to essentially do that at Universal. You're gonna be in the environments that you're dressed up like.
Yeah.
So it's adding a little bit more of an element to get some really great photos for cosplayers. They love to take photos. So I feel like we're gonna see a lot of that, like people that are just there to vibe and like be there with other fans of the different, franchises that they've got.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's gonna be people that want to experience everything. The
Yeah.
ones that are gonna want to do all the walkthroughs,
I
they're
want
gonna
to do
want
it
to do
all.
all the different things. They want to try the foods. It's like there's gonna be something for everyone. I think that's the cool part. I feel like Disney has wanted to do something like this with their After Dark events with like, and they do successfully get people to dress up, especially obviously for like Oogie Boogie Bash. But I just feel like it's not as successful on the other nights, like the outside of Oogie Boogie Bash. Like I don't feel like we get too many people dressed up for like Star Wars night. Like you get a few, but like not, outside of people just wearing like a Star Wars shirt,
I
not
I
too
feel like
bad.
the Star Wars night at Disney, they really wanted people to cosplay so much that they do like a march, like a cosplay march. Anybody that's dressed up, let's all march down Main Street. You know what I'm talking about? That event that they do.
Yeah.
I feel as time has gone on, all those people marching down Main Street, that group gets smaller and smaller and smaller. The last time I was at a Star Wars event, it seemed like there was like 20 people maybe. Compared to like the first year, it was like a freaking Imperial March. Like it was insane. There was so many cosplay. Um, yeah, the cosplay is going to be insane for Harry Potter. I want to move on, Danny. This is a big one. One Piece coming to Hollywood. I only know One Piece, the live action. That's as far as my knowledge of One Piece goes. But One Piece is going to come to life in the Main Street area of Universal Studios Hollywood. If you know where the fire towers are, opening ceremony, that area. There's going to be photo ops. There's also going to be food, merch. And at the same time, these characters are meant to be interacting. Kind of like, the vibe I'm getting, Danny, is like a Ghost Town Alive kind of feel. As far as I like all the stuff I saw and like we went over, it didn't seem like they had like a dedicated show like they do in Japan where they were all at Waterworld, and it was kind of like they all come together and stuff happens. It didn't seem like we were gonna get that, but we could be surprised. How do you feel about the One Piece portion of all this, Danny?
I mean, it's one of the most popular franchises right now out there. Cost with cosplayers as a trading card game, as a show. It was popular enough that Netflix wanted to make it into, a live action series. So there's, I think the thing that's gonna sell really hard at this event, merch wise, is gonna be the merch from that event, from that franchise. I mean, and also the food. I mean, there's someone in the chat here that mentioned that they're just going only to cosplay for this and the other anime that's being featured.
Damn.
So, and they're, they're not alone in that. They're not alone in that.
Wow. Right here, right? I'm going to be one of the people there, mostly to be able to cosplay since we're getting One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen. And that's what Danny said early in the morning today. He's like, dude, people are buying the pass just so they could cosplay 5 times out of the year for this event. They don't even care about doing cool stuff. I'm just going to go cosplay and have fun with the communities that these franchises are bringing. They're going to bring to life a lot of the characters from One Piece. This is one of their marketing photos that they have. I hope there's some kind of interactions between the characters and like an audio moments kind of thing happens. I hope we get that. But yeah, I have when I was at this event, people were going nuts. When I was like taking pictures and filming the merch and the food, people were going crazy. Like you could notice like who are the fans of what when they're like, oh my god, look at that. Look at this. Like, oh, I can't wait to buy that. Like I kept hearing people say that with the One Piece stuff. I did have a chance to try the Chopper cupcake. It's like a ton of frosting, so be aware for anybody getting in there. It's a ton of frosting. I also had a chance to try the Frankie's Cola Barbacoa. If I had to give any advice, they gotta give better tortillas. They were just rock hard. They might as well have been chips. Those tortillas, you just can't appreciate that dish with hard tortillas. But I can't wait to try it. There's gonna be some good dishes out of that. Let me see. All right, let's move on to Star Trek, Danny. Are you a Star Trek fan? Do you care for the Star Trek franchise?
No, like I said, I'm not. I don't like Star Trek. I'm not a fan at all. I know it has a huge fandom, so I'm not knocking it anyway. It just never hit me that way. But what they're offering for this event is very much exciting to me. I'd be interested to do it anyway.
Yeah. Uh, Real quick, just saw your video. What happened to your T-shirt near the end? After I was filming everything, I realized I never said the tickets are available today. So I just filmed that part. It was one of those late ads. It was a late ads to that video I filmed in the morning. I need Luffy and Zoro and Straw Hat interacting like how the Scooby Gang interact. Oh, that's going to happen, dude. That's going to happen. They talked about that stuff. The One Piece event is the one I'm looking forward to seeing since I've cosplayed Luffy at last year's Anime Expo. Damn, it seems like the One Piece is hitting hard with our chat right now. One Piece is also doing a collab with the Lakers. They get One Piece night on February 28th. I'm going for that and then coming back for this thing at Universal. Wow. One Piece collaborations everywhere. Jeez Louise. All right. Star Trek. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but this is going to be a walkthrough. It's going to be called Star Trek Red Alert. This is going to be, from my understanding, at The Walking Dead. It's going to be a walkthrough. Think of it, once again, a Halloween Horror Night house style event, except they mentioned, Danny, that you will be in groups and you will be paced throughout the event. So events happen as you're going through these walkthroughs. Storytelling is going to happen. Things are going to take a turn for the worst, and you're going to have to survive, and you're going to end up at the bridge, which is what we're looking at right now. And supposedly the big finale out of all of this is how they transport you home. So wow, I don't know how this is all going to play out. I like, for me, when it comes down to Star Trek, like, I can't be like, I want this to happen or this character to come to life or, this one scene. Like, I don't have
you don't have a draw or connection to it.
Exactly. I don't. So I'm going in just open-minded. A lot of money is obviously being spent because Paramount is also working with Universal to do like very authentic things with all this. Here we have a picture of the foods. Um, right where Danny is, let me move Danny real quick. The CT Eel Margarita. That is the best drink
Oh,
out of this whole event.
that's what that's what Peter was saying too. He said it had like a weird insect on top though.
Yeah, and it numbs your mouth. So kind of like Oga's Cantina. It numbs your mouth or your lips.
Mm.
The CT Eel Margarita was like a tamarindo margarita. Delicious, dude. I was like, I didn't even know there was alcohol in there when I was drinking it. I was like, whoa, this is like a creeper one, dude. Also, too, they had
What's that
some.
truffle trio?
Yeah, let me. Do I have pictures? Oh no, that. Oh, I got out of it. I don't really know, Daddy. I don't know what the truffle trio is. I didn't get a chance to try that. The Klingon targ legs. It just looked like some ribs and rice and stuff. Um, they have this merch right here. I was talking to one of the workers at this event, and he was saying like, if you're a Star Trek fan, you're gonna go crazy when you see this merch. Like, you're gonna know, you know, you're a Star Trek fan. You're gonna be like, I want to buy that. I gotta buy that. To me, it was just like, this looks like the book from Harry Potter. You know, the one with the teeth. That's what I kept thinking. And then they got like a cool jacket. This is just a preview. This is not all the things that are going to be there. There's going to be more. We just got like a glimpse into it all. How do you feel? How do you feel, Danny? Like this walkthrough style event, Star Trek. Is there something you want to happen?
No, I'm just down to experience it. Like that and Dungeons and Dragons. I'm down to see both. I'd be really excited to do either. I'd probably be more excited for Dungeons and Dragons over the Star Trek. But if I had time, I would try to do that one too. For
Yeah,
me, if I'm going, I'm prioritizing Back to the Future
easily.
and Harry Potter. I want to try that Harry Potter food. I want to see the alchemy. I think that's super cool. Then I'd probably want to try to do fit in Dungeons and Dragons and then Star Trek if I could. Um, I the if I had the time, I'd want to see the what do you call it, the show that's going to be in the DreamWorks theater.
Yeah,
Um,
Jujutsu Kaisen. I'll go to that next. Yep.
yeah, but I feel like that's going to be just 2 hour wait.
Yeah, that's what me and Danny were talking about earlier. One of the experiences that we are gonna get is Jujutsu Kaisen: Hunger of the Cursed. It's gonna be a show that's gonna be taking over DreamWorks Theater. So it's gonna be, you know, this 3D style event in the theater. There's not going to be meet and greets or nothing like that. It's just going to be the show. And it's actually the same show that they did in Japan. So it's like they called it very authentic. So it's already created by Japan. They're just replicating it here in the United States, California. I'm excited for Jujutsu Kaisen. I've already seen like clips of the video. It looks really cool. I didn't want to spoil it all for myself. But there is going to be some foods. I'm not. I was already like kind of full by the time I got to this table of like to try things. So I was like, I'll just wait. You know, I'll try these stuff later. And then they did have some merch as well. Um, did you ever watch Jujutsu Kaisen or try to get into it by any chance, Danny?
No, I watched One Piece and read One Piece, but not this. I'm not familiar with it at all.
Yeah, to me, uh, the Jujutsu Kaisen portion, I feel it's gonna be pretty much like packed. I think it's gonna be packed. Uh, uh, the terrible, the terrible Chucky show. Somehow that demanded a 45 to an hour wait. This show is very unique and cool, and you have a whole fandom coming just for that. I expect it to be very busy. And I think that's when Express actually works, is for that experience. I don't know. I don't know how many Jujutsu Kaisen shows I'm going to watch just because I feel like it's going to be too busy. It's gonna be too damn busy. Uh, but I'm excited. I'm excited. Uh, the last one I was saving, probably the coolest one too. One of the coolest ones, Super Nintendo World. We're gonna get some cool merch, all themed to the one and only Yoshi. So what's going to be happening is like a scavenger hunt's going to be created, but you're also going to be able to meet Yoshi as a meet and greet. That's going to be the first time ever. So we're going to have a interactive opportunity with Yoshi, and then a scavenger hunt to locate all 5 colorful Yoshi eggs. After you complete this original quest, guests will reap the benefit of a very special reward with the unique opportunity to meet a different colored Yoshi. I don't know what that means. Does that mean there's going to be 2 Yoshi meet and greets or 1? We'll find out. This is going to be cool. We've never had Yoshi anywhere other than on the parade in Japan. Was it Japan? Yeah, it was Japan. That's the only time, and we actually got some cool foods. I'm assuming because I see the plates, that's going to be what is it called again? Toadstool Cafe. That's gonna be a
Yeah, it'll
Toadstool
be at
Cafe.
Toadstool.
How do you feel about the Yoshi?
Uh, I, who doesn't love Yoshi, right? As far as the
Everybody,
Mario
nobody.
franchise, it's like everyone's favorite, character to pick when they're driving on Mario Kart. Um, yeah, I think Yoshi will be cool, and hopefully he has little sound effects when you can meet him, like his little like his like all his little things that he does. So I think it'll be cool in that aspect because I know Mario and Luigi they have like their little sound effects that they do. So I'm hoping that there's a similar thing for Yoshi. That's gonna be the like a huge wait for to meet Yoshi because yeah that the
Yeah,
mountain.
I saw it right here, Daddy. Hold on. Let me hit it again. Let me hit it again. Okay, I got. I'll just keep hitting
But
it.
you already know, Mono. The first interaction meet and greet with Yoshi is gonna be like
Yeah,
viral
million
virality.
views. First Yoshi meet and greet ever for these Super Nintendo worlds. It's going to be ridiculous. Um, I'm excited. I've wanted
The food
Yoshi.
doesn't look all that good to me, but I mean, it looks good definitely as an addition to Toadstool Cafe if it was something that was gonna stick around.
Yeah,
Uh, but I don't necessarily know that like it's enticing me enough to want to get it over some of the other options. Um, but it looks good. It's not like it looks bad or anything.
yeah.
So
And one thing too, Danny, we already know how long Toadstool Cafe takes. It takes forever, and time is money when you're doing these events. Maybe Toadstool's not where you go. Maybe you get stuck in Super Nintendo World for an hour and a half. I don't think you want that. You want to keep your day going. You want to do all this stuff. All right, let me go to some of the questions. Do you think with the groups going in, the experiences that means less capacity for the event to help with lines?
I
Uh,
think Mondo and I were discussing this. We definitely feel like um, with it being groups and not a conga line, it definitely means that you're probably gonna have a longer wait. Um,
just period.
so just period. There's gonna be like, and not to mention, there's not 9 mazes for people to go wait in line for. There's only gonna be
Two,
two
two
walkthroughs.
walkthroughs.
Plus, like people being stuck down in the lower lot if they're trying to do the Back to the Future stuff. So that's why I said you're gonna really want to prioritize what's important to you because I don't feel like people are gonna have that much time because they're gonna be waiting in line for probably a lot of these experiences, um, and they're gonna be long lines. So,
Very long.
so yeah, so I would imagine you're probably like 2 hours probably of a wait if it's a busy sold out night for any of these experiences. Uh,
Especially the Star Trek if it hits hard. Because Star Trek is just convenient. You walk in, you go to the left. Dungeons and Dragons, you got to trek pretty far to get down there. So I feel, you know what I mean. You got to really want that one. uh, I could see Dungeons and Dragons though too, Danny. Have an hour to 2 hour wait because they're pacing. You got to wait. It's just how it works. I got another question here. Are all the events happening each day? I've been asked that so many times today. Everything you saw happens with your general admission. It's all everything all happening one event. It's not like there's one one Back to the Future day and that's all they do. No, everything is happening all at the same time in the event. Uh, so you get your general whatever ticket you buy, you'll be able to experience everything. Let me see. Did they say anything about prices, food, and merch? Nothing. Nothing has been said about prices yet. One thing I did
Mondo
hear.
did mention. I was just saying real quick. Mondo did mention the price of the pass starting at 250. Tickets for the event start at 79 for just 1 day general admission. It's 79 bucks. So not too bad when you compare it to things like Star Wars Night, Oogie Boogie Bash. Those are like $180, $130, $160. So this is quite cheaper, right? You know, it's going back to the days when Oogie Boogie Bash used to be Mickey's Halloween Party, and it was only 69 bucks for annual pass holders. So we're getting kind of close to that admission. But don't forget, Universal is going to be open during this time with with certain attractions available too. So if you haven't been to Universal in a while, 79 bucks to get in the gate and maybe go on some attractions that probably aren't going to have as long of a wait because people are going to be waiting to do everything else. That's another thing to consider as well too. It's like maybe a cheap day for you to go to Universal and have a really good time.
Yeah, like Minions will be empty. Ain't nobody doing that. Uh, I'm assuming Simpsons will probably be open. Nobody's gonna be doing that. Nobody's gonna be doing Mummy. Nobody's gonna be doing Jurassic World.
I
you,
say Jurassic World's gonna be dead.
yeah, everyone's cosplaying or
They're probably gonna use the queue for that for one of these things.
I know it gets so busy. The highest it goes, Danny, is $84 for FanFest. That's a great deal, man. That's a great deal. Um, Let me see. Dr. Pong says the crane is going up over there at Fast and Furious. Well, I should be there tomorrow. So I'll be there tomorrow. The question is how much capacity they are having per night at FanFest. Will they push 20,000 per night like HHN? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I don't think so. But the whole purpose of doing this event is to make money. So you never know, dude. It might get kind of crazy. It might get kind of crazy. All right, let's get into the real questions, Danny. Now that we know all these details, what's your overall feel? Like, is this going to be worth it? You're hesitant. You're on the fence of like, do I really want to do this? Is this something I want? Like, how are you feeling about it, man?
Yeah, I mean, if I definitely feel like it's worth it for $79. If you have any affinity to any of these franchises, I think it's worth it. You know, you're going to be going in to experience the park with a less capacity than a normal day. You're going to have special offerings like food that you wouldn't normally be able to get on a regular day. And you're going to have these really cool experiences, especially if you're a fan of Back to the Future. Like, just that alone makes it worth it right there. So I would say 79 bucks. They're way undercutting what Disney's charging for their After Dark events. So I feel like when you're looking at a family of four going, family of five, it's a little bit more doable when you're
I
doing
know,
$79 a person rather than 130, 160
dude. Think
person.
about it. $80 for four people, 320. Star Wars night, two people, they're like 160. You only get 320 for two people. So
Yeah.
you get four people at FanFest compared to two people at Star Wars night. It's kind of crazy. super, super disparity of pricing going on. Um, for me, I'm beyond excited. The Back to the Future is going to be the one that I think just kind of carries this event. I could be proven wrong. I could be proven wrong, but the fact that we're getting Hill Valley or Enchanted Under the Sea dance, what the hell? We've been rumoring, or not rumoring, we've just been talking that Universal should do that for the longest. So the fact that we're doing it, I can't. I just, it's like a dream come true to me as a fan. And the fact that it's the 40th too, so it's like a very special year for the franchise, and just the fans in
Uh,
general.
we have a really good question, Mondo, actually, from someone in the chat that says, how many days do you think they would need to do all the FanFest activities? I want to say a 2 day ticket would probably give you enough time to be able to do everything you wanted to do. Not necessarily do everything, but all the things you would want to do. Um, including experiencing attractions, at Universal as well, alongside all this other stuff. But I would imagine a 2 days, would probably be enough. Maybe 3, depending on how, if you're like a cosplayer that wants to go and just vibe and not necessarily do anything.
Yeah,
Um, so maybe you look into the pass at that point.
yeah. Um, 2 days I think will be enough. Uh, like a third day would be like you just want to do one thing a lot. Back to the Future. For me, my plan of attack, I want to do everything on day one, and then day two, kind of like I want to do these two things and do them a lot. Dungeons and Dragon walkthrough. I want to do it like 3 times. That kind of thing. Um, Let me see. We got Peter. Are we gonna get popcorn buckets and sippers? You already know, dude. Yeah, imagine what's like the 1 or 2 popcorn buckets that we need, Danny, at all this.
A flux capacitor popcorn bucket for sure.
So good, so good.
Yeah, flux capacitor. I feel like for Harry Potter, they could do really well with a pygmy puff popcorn bucket, or even a niffler, depending on how well it's done. That'd be really fun. And then for Star Trek, I don't even know if there's a popcorn bucket that would be like cool in that aspect.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know the Star Trek. Could they give us the ship? That would just be a very big one. Um, I feel
oh, a good question on it. I forgot. We totally forgot to bring it up. Bob in the chat says, "What's going to happen with the drones in Nintendo World?" Do you want to pull up the Attractions 360
gosh,
video on Twitter?
God, how did we forget?
Yeah,
Drones Super Nintendo World. SoCal
I
attractions.
think it was like I think it was in Santa Monica.
There we go. I got it. I got it. This is from SoCal Attractions 360. So shout out to them. Uh, in Santa Monica, we had a drone show happen. I think it was last year. Yeah, 1 year ago. Um, Dude, I can't believe I forgot to say that. We're getting the Yoshi meet and greet, Yoshi scavenger hunt, Yoshi merch, food, and we're also going to get a drone show multiple times a night at Super Nintendo World. Danny was the one like maybe they just kind of cloned this in a Super Nintendo World, and SoCal themselves even put it right here: Super Nintendo World drone light up show at Universal? Question mark. I think it'd be cool. Uh, Gosh, I forgot to talk about this, Danny. Um, it's so cool, dude. I love drones. Drones
Someone else in the Brian
storytelling.
Sabia in the chat said a Yoshi popcorn bucket sold out immediately.
You know how it should be a Yoshi egg.
Or yeah, or an egg.
Yeah, Yoshi egg. Uh, I'm gonna ask. Let me see. Back to the Future flux capacitor. Capacitor. How do I spell capacitor? There we go. Flux capacitor popcorn bucket. Create image. I'm gonna ask Grok to create me one. I'm just curious what a flux capacitor popcorn bucket would look like. uh, Let me see. I'm just curious. It's creating it right now. Yeah, these are not. They do not look good. These are terrible, terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna say these are terrible. Pop capacitor. This is stupid. I don't even want to show it.
Uh, Palm Tree 150 asks, "Wouldn't this be the first public drone show Universal Studios Hollywood has put on? I remember they did one for Super Nintendo World Grand Open, but that was only for media. I thought the same thing, Palm Tree, but they never did. The thing that we just showed you was a promotional thing that Nintendo did at the Santa Monica Pier. It had nothing to do with Super Nintendo World. It actually was about some other Nintendo milestone around the same time that Super Nintendo World debuted in California. On Media Night, they had projections and fireworks that were Nintendo shapes. And so I confused that in my brain too, like a little bit of a, I don't know, Mandela. I don't know what they call that when you think of you think you saw something but you didn't. I thought that too, but the media night was just a drone show or a fireworks show and a projection show on the hills of Super Nintendo World. So they never had it. But Universal Studios did have a drone show in the past for the Dark Arts private event that they had and the Dark Arts show, that which was an After Dark event that Universal did for Harry Potter. And they basically did Snape's Patronus in the sky, which is the stag. So they had the stag they would create in the sky with drones, and then the stag would kind of like turn and look at you. Um, and that was a pretty cool experience. Um, Unfortunately, Mondo and I didn't get to see it live because the day we went, they had Santa Ana winds and they couldn't fly the drones.
Yeah, it was a very big challenge. I had to go
That's a
multiple
windy
nights.
area in LA right there.
I had to go multiple nights to get the drones, dude. I have it right here, Danny.
Yeah, I only went that first night, so I wasn't able to do the drones, but I know Mondo went back and he finally got it. But that was the first time they did drones at Universal was uh was during this Dark Arts event. So it wouldn't be the first time they had drones. Um but it would be the first time for Nintendo World.
Where are these drones? Dude, right when the drones were gonna come up, this guy put his like kid on his shoulders. I was like, no. I just want to see the drones. Oh my! And I think I had another kid on the shoulders on the left. I was in between two kids on the shoulders right here. I remember this day. Oh, there it is. There it is. I guess it's at the end. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. There's the drone. Yeah, that thing was cool. Very cool. So this will be the second implementation. I have a feeling on the lower lot it might be better wind, Danny, than up here on the upper lot. Oh man. Um we've been talking a lot of positives. Any cons, any negatives that are coming out of FanFest? Like anything that comes to mind on your end?
The only thing I could think of is um like if this event becomes successful, this really changes the way that Universal operates. Right, there's going to be now two major times throughout the year where the park closes early for a private event, and there's no DCA at Universal. Right, so like this can negatively impact a guest trip who maybe doesn't know that this event's happening, or maybe even a pass holder now has less days to be able to go because of the event like that. That's the only negative thing I could think of that would mean something like this. But I think there's more positive on this event. The things that could come from this, the future franchises they could, transition to. It could be almost as speculative every year
Yeah.
um,
Who
as
speculates this?
HHN. Yeah, where we like trying to figure out what franchise is gonna go where, what walkthrough are we gonna get next. Like, it could be a cool thing. So
They
honestly,
I was gonna say, Danny, at the media event, they made it seem like if this goes well, we want to do this every year for many years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Uh, that like I don't really have any negatives for this like kind of media marketing that's gone on now. Um, I think like if I had to say a negative, I wish there was a trailer that kind of got dropped with all this. You get what I'm saying? So just kind of sneak peeks us into everything, like a movie trailer. So like you could physically or not physically, but like you just visually seeing some type of reel or like a long post format. Um, but
I
I
can tell you
don't.
what, Mondo. First night, opening night of this event, you can guarantee that Universal is going to be filming that night,
Yeah, that's
and
when the trailer will come.
to your point, they will absolutely create a trailer. Not maybe for the website to sell the rest of the tickets, but not only that. When it comes time next year to talk about it, and people don't really know what the heck it is, they have like, all these clip reel videos and things that they can show from last year's event. So
Yeah, yeah. Palm Tree also says if this event is successful, I think they should do DreamWorks franchise next, like Shrek area, How to Train Your Dragon.
yeah,
I could totally see How to Train Your Dragon just comes next year. Why wouldn't it? Did we have a
I could
movie,
see.
a
Mondo
freaking
and I already
land?
thought. Mondo and I already thought that we would see Universal Monsters. We were shocked that that wasn't a part of the event because that has a massive following as in and of itself. So we could see even that in the future. That Universal Monsters is a franchise that they decide to have for FanFest nights, and then we could have an HHN walkthrough in April and March.
Yeah, yeah. It, okay. I just want to say this question, Danny. How do you think the crowds are going to play out? Everybody just going straight to Back to the Future? People going straight to Dungeons and Dragons? How do you think the crowds are going to play out? Opening day crowds.
I think everyone's gonna run straight to the tram.
Yeah, I know. And some of the people that we talked to, like Universal official, they all thought the same thing of like, I don't know how we're gonna. There's more stuff to do, everybody. Go do Star Trek. That's where we're running, Danny. We're going straight to Hill Valley. Oh man, that's the same thing I'm gonna do. Everybody in the chat, where are you going first? You're going to FanFest night. What's the first thing you do? I would also say too, Danny, maybe one of the walkthroughs like Dungeons and Dragons or Star Trek will be kind of like the good plate of out of all this because the whole pacing aspect. It can have a long line. It's a walkthrough. Knocking out some of that stuff first will really free up your day to you just do whatever you want. Um, Anything else you want to talk about with FanFest, Danny?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything. I was really just excited to see kind of what people's reactions were. I feel like um, Universal really did it right, having all of. It was kind of a unique way to roll it out, right? Like they shared with us what the franchises were, and I really liked the fact that they like kind of had all you guys come to the event to find out about it, and then you basically had everyone in the community who makes these kind of videos and stuff share their experience about like what they were excited about or what was going to be about the event, and it was cool to see everyone's different perspectives on like who was excited about what. I was seeing people that were really excited about the anime stuff. I was seeing people excited, of course, about Back to the Future, about Harry Potter. So it was, I think it was a really great way to get the message out. And I really liked that, the rollout of it all, how we all found out about it today. That was really cool. Um, but I think this is going to be more popular than most people, realize. And I feel like Disney's going to try to come up with their own version
Well, that's what
of this
I
as
was
well.
getting to, Danny. That's what I want to end the night on. That's what I want to end the night on. Does Disneyland do they respond to Universal Fan Fest nights? Is this going to warrant a response, or Disney's like, we don't care, we just don't care. We got all these crazy people buying our terrible Oogie Boogie Bash over here. we keep doing less and less for Sweetheart Night, and they keep coming. We don't even do fireworks no more, and they buy it all out. What do we care? Or does Disneyland respond, Danny? How do you feel? Because this is like hitting so many demographics. You know what I mean? Like all these fan bases. I'm on the boat. I think they respond. That's how I feel. But what do you say, Danny?
Yeah, I think when it comes time to, unveil next year's like After Dark events, I think that however this event plays out will heavily impact that, right? Like we know that they're probably always gonna have Oogie Boogie Bash. We know
Yeah,
that they're probably always gonna have Sweethearts Night.
yeah,
So
money
like
makers.
those are set in stone. So like it's the others that are kind of always up in question. So we'll have to see. Maybe they go a little bit harder for a Star Wars night next year. Maybe they go and introduce, instead of a '90s night or a princess night, like maybe we see, them delve back into like the Marvel night because they had that a while ago at DCA, but it wasn't that popular of an event. We've had a Pixar night, right? That also wasn't very popular either. So how can they rework some of those events to be a little bit more crowd drawing than they were? And I think depending on how this one plays out, um, it may, you know, push Disney to kind of think outside the box. Because for their After Dark events, a lot of times it's like maybe a unique entertainment experience, some character meet and greets, and call it a day. Like they just for them leaving the parks open during a time where there's less tickets being sold than a regular day is enough for them to call it a special event. The other stuff's just a plus up, right? So
Yeah,
I think this is this is offering a unique experience that like 90% of the people are going to want to do all of that stuff, and they don't really care about going in to experience the theme park itself and the attractions that are there. So it might push Disney to kind of maybe rethink what their After Dark events are like, and what how they could do something similar using their own franchises, which they've
yeah.
got plenty of.
Well, what I
They've
was gonna
got, I
say,
mean,
Danny, FanFest seems to really focus on storytelling. There's storytelling with every single one of these things. You go to Star Wars Night, Sweetheart Night. They ain't no storytelling. It's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo all squashed together and go meet your favorite character. Like there's no storytelling. I was gonna say I think the influence of FanFest is successful and it hits hard. I think it's gonna be a response from Disney of like, hey, how about we do story? We are Disney. We do storytelling too sometimes. If Disney was to like partake in storytelling, what kind of things could we see? Like if they responded, if Disney's like, we got to do something. What kind of storytelling could they do?
I mean, they could do they've already done really fun like what do you call it, like role playing experiences. They had already tested a lot of these, right, for not only Star Wars but also for um Legends of Frontierland. That was a test for something that they were also working on, and they can incorporate stuff like that into an After Dark event that would do really well, but it requires a lot of work, and that's where Universal just really succeeds in that way, because their really big focus is on like entertainment and like an experience like this for HHN that I think just doesn't really, like, we can't really direct compare it with anything at Disney. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
There's
Hornets
nothing
is in
really
its own
similar.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing really similar. So I feel like it's like Disney's gonna have to, like I said, kind of think outside the box and think about how they can make a similar offering.
Brian's saying they're gonna respond with Marvel Night. That'll be the
Yeah, that's my thought. That was my thought too. Is like they're probably just gonna turn on the faucet for a Marvel night, and I just don't necessarily know that there's like dedicated Marvel fans that are there are dedicated Marvel fans like crazy, but I
for
don't
the
know that
movies.
there's
For the
I
movies
don't
though.
no for the comics.
Oh,
So
comics.
like I was saying, I don't necessarily know that there's dedicated Marvel fans that wanna that wanna necessarily buy into a night that Disney has hosted for their version of a Marvel night versus like what they might get at like a Comic Con or something.
If Disney really tried to push into uh, cosplay, where would they take it? Like, how did they get cosplay to be the focal point at an After Dark event? Like, what would be the route they take? Like, what kind of After Dark event is that?
They could throw lookalike contests, so they could have like lookalike contests as part of the event. So they could have like a Wanda lookalike contest, Doctor Strange. Like they could host multiple ones, and then like people would love to go watch those. That'd be really fun, like stuff like that. And then the prize could be something pretty cool.
Yeah,
They just gotta think outside the box.
because like I'm thinking to myself, like, what would be something that brings out cosplays to Disney? I feel 90s Night is really going to bring out a lot of cosplays, like not necessarily like Disney character cosplay, but just the whole concept of like dress like you're in the 90s. I think there's going to be a lot of popularity in that. Uh, yeah, there's no cosplaying happening for Sweetheart Nights. I'll tell you that much. And everybody leaves early. That's all I keep hearing about Sweetheart Night. We got a super chat from Le Classique Ham. The Back to the Future ride should be projected in Simpsons. I wish. We're gonna get the DeLorean in real life. That's what we're gonna get. um, Pirates cosplay, dude. What a pirate night, would that work at Disneyland? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't know if I'm interested in a Pirates Night at Disneyland. All right, closing thoughts on everything, Danny. Closing thoughts on everything.
I'm excited to see what you guys share and the experience, and I'm sure you guys will get like a preview night, so seeing what that's like, and just honestly, just seeing how it all unfolds for the first. It's exciting when it's a first ever event like this. It's kind of like when we got like first After Dark events at Disneyland. They were exciting too because it was unknown. We didn't know like the Disney Channel night and stuff like that. It was
Yeah.
like, what's it gonna be like? What are we gonna have?
Mm-hmm. What was kind of like the first After Dark event at Disney? Do you remember?
I think it was just Mickey's Halloween party.
Mickey's Halloween party, and then they went into like Mickey's old or Disney oldies or something. Do you remember that one? Like a long time ago, like 2017 ish.
I think the first After Dark event I did, besides Mickey's Halloween party, was '90s night,
90s night.
and
Okay.
then they did a '80s night, which I didn't do, but I think you did because they had like Videopolis and stuff.
I think they even
Uh,
did a like a Dapper Day or something, like a Dapper After Dark event or something. I could have sworn there was one of those, dude. Because I just remember everybody being dressed up and all that, and I was like, I don't want to be part of this. I'm just like, I don't like, be dapper. I don't think so. Not in my world. Jose says next year we probably get Jurassic World, Pokemon, DC Universe, Wicked. Yeah, the possibilities are just stupid. It could be
dude, a
insane.
Pokemon edition would just
Pokemon
destroy the
2026.
world.
Game over. Pokemon, game over. It's almost like I don't even care what else is at the event. I get to meet Pikachu's, Gengars, all that good stuff. Hell yeah. But any other closing thoughts, Danny?
No, no, I think that's it.
Yeah, for me, I've already bought my Ultimate Fandom Pass. If this event is awesome, I could see myself going like every day. Why not? I have something to do every Friday, Saturday, Sunday through April, going into early May. Um, I'm excited. From my mind, from a content creator, a lot of live stream. I feel like this will be a cool event to live stream all the time. And it's just going to be cool to be in groups of like-minded people. I'm going to be surrounded by hundreds of people that all like Back to the Future. How cool is that going to be? I'm pretty sure other people will feel that way with One Piece. I'm just surrounded by One Piece fans. Look at all these cosplays and whatever. It's going to be really cool. It's all, how I feel about this event. It's bringing like communities together. that really have nothing to do with themselves. You know, Star Trek, One Piece, like there's no correlation there. uh, Danny, any content or anything that you want to tell people about that's coming in the near future?
No, just had a video come out today. So if you haven't checked that out already, make sure you do. You can subscribe to my channel. Just search the 5571, or you can search Just Ask Danny. You should be able to find it on either one. And podcasts come out every week on the channel too. So make sure you're subscribed there. But other than that, you can look for me again on Mondo's channel. I'm not sure if we're going to do Sunday or Monday yet. It's still up in the
Yeah,
air
we
for
might go to
speculation.
Monday.
So
It's all cool. It's
it
all
might
cool.
it might go to Monday. Might go to Monday. But we'll see. We'll see, right? But yeah, other than that, maybe Mondo and I'll try to host another Spaces again. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know who is the next. Like, where do we take our spaces? Spaces is cool. It's just very cool. Very cool. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for watching FiFire's YouTube. Don't forget to check out Danny's new video on his YouTube channel. Smash that like button. I'll see y'all real soon. And once we get more information of FanFest night, like images and whatever, we'll definitely be providing those. All right, everybody. We are firing it down.